It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Take your emails as well at randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. Well, I have a new favorite podcast. And no, it's not the Melrose Place Rewatch podcast with Daphne Zuniga, Laura Layton, and Courtney Thorne-Smith, although I do enjoy that. No, it's Politickin', starring Gavin Newsom, Beast Mode Marshawn Lynch, and some agent. The first episode has finally dropped, and it is a fascinating endeavor as to why in the world is Gavin doing this.
That is something we are mindful of.
I've got some clips because I listened to this. We're going to hear what Gavin Newsom has to say about a whole bunch of things he hasn't talked publicly about yet, like the fact that Joe is out and Kamala is in. And we're going to hear Gavin laugh awkwardly with Marshawn Lynch and the agent. This is called Politickin'. And I want to know if you're going to be subscribing to Politickin'. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. As you listen to some sound from Politickin', if you've got a review for Gavin, maybe you want to give him 5 stars, maybe not 5 stars. Tell me all about it. 800-222-KABC. Without further ado, let's get into Politickin' with Gavin and Marshawn and other guy.
Politickin' with Gavin Newsom, Doug Hendrickson, and Marshawn Lynch.
Chillin' on the beat. Chillin' on the beat.
Did Gavin select the music? Okay, now this is what we call in the business, you're letting the bumper music breathe a little too long. Got to get right into it, especially when you're playing royalty-free bumper music that nobody cares about.
Marshawn.
Hell no, Gavin, why the you ain't running for president, bro?
Whoa. Okay, that's how we're starting with this thing.
No, we're getting to that.
I'm sorry.
Did anything happen this weekend? Anything happen in the last 48 hours, Marshawn?
Something happened.
Something happened. What, by the way, what have you guys been up to the last 40 hours? Doug, what the hell have you been up to?
And then the other guy in the podcast, Doug, talks about his weekend. We're going to skip that because I don't think you care about Doug's weekend, and get into the real crux of this podcast, which is Marshawn Lynch's relationship with Gavin Newsom and the fact that Marshawn calls Gavin Batman.
Hell no, man. And I've been tripping trying to figure out why I ain't saying my boy Batman running for president. That's what I've been doing. I've been trying to figure out why Dog ain't running for president.
Oh, man.
In fact, you know what? That's going to be the topic right now. You can give me a review on Gavin's podcast if you want, but specifically, I want to ask you at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222, this very simple question. You've got to get into the mind of beast mode NFL superstar Marshawn Lynch. Why does he call Gavin Batman?
Hell no.
If you have any idea as to why Marshawn is calling Gavin Newsom Batman, give us a call at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222, because it is interesting.
Hell no, man. And I've been tripping trying to figure out why I ain't saying my boy Batman running for president. That's what I've been doing. I've been trying to figure out why Dog ain't running for president.
Oh, man.
Now, Gavin has kind of hid from public events the last couple of days. He canceled a whole bunch of things he had on the schedule as soon as Joe Biden announced on Sunday that he was dropping out of the presidential race and then endorsing Kamala Harris. Gavin Newsom finally tells us how he heard the news, and it's a story.
I'll tlet you what, though. Let me tell you what I did this.
So, Gavin, how's your week going, Gavin?
Everything's great. This is normal, typical.
Couldn't be.
What?
I said couldn't be.
What do you mean couldn't be?
I mean, because in my lifetime, I don't think I never seen the president drop out like that. How old am I? I ain't seen no like that. And then, because it makes...
This podcast is filthy, by the way, and I didn't grab the clips of it. Maybe I will later. Gavin starts cursing later on in this show. I've never heard a sitting governor drop some S-bombs. He didn't drop any F-bombs, but he did drop some S-bombs.
Because it make it a little bit more spicy because I'm sitting down with possibly the mother that could really go and do it, though.
It sounds like Marshawn's not on board with Kamala.
By the way, I wasn't sitting down when I got the word. I was on my treadmill. I was working on the treadmill, and all of a sudden, the phone starts lighting up saying, "You've obviously seen this." And I'm like, this third person said, "You've obviously seen this." I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? So I put it down to 2. I'm walking. I think it was 4, actually. And I'm walking, and I'm like, whoa. That was the last thing I was expecting on a quiet Sunday. And then, I mean,
Gavin does his own sound effects, everybody.
that was the last thing I was expecting on a quiet Sunday. And then, I mean,
what is that supposed to be, Gavin? Is that Gavin purring like a cat? Maybe he's not Batman. Maybe he's Catwoman. What is this?
I mean, lights.
You know, a lot of radio people have their own little bits, their own little shtick. Gavin does his own sound effects, like Jeff from the John and Jeff show.
And then, I mean,
yep, there's a reference.
And then, I mean, lights out on the cell phone and all the emails and everything else.
Don't nobody give you a little, hey, check it out.
This has got 30 seconds. This is going to hit. Nothing. No heads up.
Nothing.
No.
I don't know.
Gavin's not in the know. Some high-level staffers, they found out. But Gavin's not in the know.
I don't know how all that gang work. I just know that.
In politicking, Marshawn Lynch refers to the inside politics as the gang bleep. Oh, my goodness. Gavin, why are you doing this?
You feel me? I with you, so we locked in like this, and I'm like, hell yeah, I thought you was finna get in.
So Gavin, did you talk to Biden on Sunday? Did President Biden call you?
Well, I feel even worse because the phone's ringing off the hook. And now voicemail's full, and I get all these text messages.
Everyone's blowing up his phone because Joe is out, and everyone wants to know if Gavin's in.
And I get all these text messages from the White House saying the president's trying to get in touch with you, but I didn't even see them because I had hundreds of text messages. No, so president calls, the vice president calls. I'm still in the damn gym, and literally didn't even know that they called because the rest of my phone was lighting up. And I was just focusing on putting out a statement on behalf of the president.
Okay. So Gavin Newsom now wants us to believe that he was on the treadmill. His phone started blowing up. He was responding to so many text messages that he didn't realize he was getting a call from the White House. And then after that, a call from the presumptive nominee. Okay, then. Why is Gavin Newsom doing this podcast? And more importantly, why do you think Marshawn Lynch calls Gavin Newsom Batman?
Hell no, man. And I've been tripping trying to figure out why I ain't seeing my boy Batman running for president.
800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Why do you think Gavin's doing this podcast? 800-222-KABC. Let's start with John in L.A. John, hello.
Hey, Randy, how are you?
I'm great.
May I pay you a compliment?
Sure.
Excellent show. Best show on the left side of the AM dial. My favorite.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, the host is very pleasant, and I like that you're not condescending. A lot of hosts in radio, they're very condescending. And so you're pretty cool to the audience, which is pretty nice, you know? You don't really get that in radio.
Well, I appreciate that. The audience is as much of a part of the show as I am. The only difference is I get paid to be here.
So, I don't know why the hell he would call him Batman. I mean, could it be the hair?
I mean, Batman usually wears the mask and the cowl. Now, Bruce Wayne, maybe in some depiction of Bruce Wayne, he's got the hair. I think the connection is Christian Bale was Batman in the Christopher Nolan movies. Christian Bale also played Patrick Bateman, the American Psycho, which depicted a stock trader murderer who had slick back hair. And I think Marshawn Lynch thinks that Gavin Newsom looks like Christian Bale in American Psycho, and that's why he calls him Batman.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he's mixing up I got it. Yeah, you're right. That's probably it.
That's my guess, but I'm very confused.
Remember Gordon Gekko? He kind of has the Gordon Gekko hair.
He very much does. John, thank you so much for the call and for the nice words. We appreciate it. Look, we're going to have a little fun today. We could be sitting here listening to Biden's woe is me speech, or we could listen to Gavin's podcast, give it a review, see if it's going to be successful, and you can help me answer the mystery of the day at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Why does Marshawn Lynch call Gavin Newsom Batman?
Hell no, man. And I've been tripping trying to figure out why I ain't seen my boy Batman running for president.
Why is Gavin Newsom Batman? Why do you think Gavin Newsom is doing this podcast? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's hear what Gavin has to say about his former colleague, his good buddy, the new presumptive nominee of the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris.
Marshawn, I'll tell you what's going on. People are all in now for Kamala Harris. All in. I've never seen anything like it. Let me tell you, just a few years ago, your home.
How mad is he that they're not all in for him? He dreamed of this day. Biden was going to get out. He was Biden's #1 supporter, and he was going to get the nod. Didn't happen.
Just a few years ago.
Now he's a podcaster.
Just a few years ago, your hometown girl from Oakland, on Martin Luther King Day, she had a rally that was unbelievable. Almost 20,000 people on Martin Luther King Day announcing her campaign for president. And she raised, I remember it was like a record-breaking day for a presidential candidate. I mean, it wasn't record-breaking, but it was impressive. She raised $1.5 million.
It was record-breaking. Actually, it wasn't record-breaking, but it was breaking something. Gavin, you might need some radio lessons. First of all, you've got to slow down. There's only one person who's successful at radio that talks that fast. And he was on at 3 o'clock today.
She raised $1.5 million in 24 hours. In the first 24 hours after the president resigned and supported Kamala, she raised $81 million just in 24 hours. Everybody lined up, from myself, other governors. We had former presidents like Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton endorsing her candidacy. Now she has the delegates she needs to lock this in, including California. On Sunday night, the delegation came out formally to support her. And then just yesterday, she had this unbelievable rally in Wisconsin. And it was just next level energy. She's raised significantly more money than $81 million in the first 24 hours.
The chemistry here. Marshawn's not following a word that Gavin says, except for, Wisconsin. I've played there before.
She's raised significantly more money than $81 million in the first 24 hours. I've never seen, the script is flipped just like that. 48 hours.
That's how you can tell when radio partners are not listening to each other, which happens from time to time. I've been a radio partner in a few different relationships over the years, and it's always easy to tell when somebody's not paying attention to anything you're saying. The only thing Marshawn heard from that whole diatribe about how popular Kamala is that she went to Wisconsin. This show is really off to a strong start, but we have so much more to hear from you. Hear from them and hear from you at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. I've got two very simple questions that I need you to answer right here, right now. Why do you think Gavin Newsom is doing this podcast with Marshawn Lynch? And two, maybe the more important question, why do you think Marshawn Lynch calls Gavin Newsom Batman?
Hell no, man. And I've been tripping trying to figure out why I ain't seen my boy Batman running for president.
800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. It's Gavin Newsom's podcast, and we've got clips. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. I gots to know, why do you think Marshawn Lynch calls Gavin Newsom Batman?
Hell no, man. And I've been tripping trying to figure out why I ain't seen my boy Batman running for president.
800-222-KABC. If you'd like to email us, you can do so as well at randykabc@gmail.com. Penny writes in and says he's calling Gavin Batman because he's trying to make him out to be a hero. Gavin's doing this podcast to try to get popular to be our president someday. It's all about politics. You don't say. Well, the name of the show is Politickin'. 800-222-KABC. Let's hear what Gavin has to say about... Marshawn asked Gavin if this is all scripted and all the drama that's played out last week is all part of some kind of ploy.
So who writing y'all script? Because, they said the NFL got a script. So I'm pretty sure in the politics that y'all got a script too. So how do this script play out now?
No, this script is written by the American people, Marshawn. This script is written by people that get out there.
Am I considered an American citizen? Because
yes.
I change my mind all the mother time. Sometimes.
Wait, you're not? I don't know where we're going with this.
Sometimes I want a cheeseburger, then I might want some tacos, or one day I might want me something exotic, then I might want something with a little bit of, little kitchen in the back.
Yeah, but this is an easy choice. You don't get that. It's not 31 flavors, buddy. This is a binary choice. Oh, you got.
Oh boy, guys, try not to talk over each other.
You got a guy who wants to bring.
You gotta let your partners have a little room to breathe.
You got a guy who wants to bring us back to a pre-1960s world, or you got Kamala Harris that's just lighting it up right now. And by the way, I will say this. I pity Donald Trump right now. He was not prepared for this to happen. He's flat-footed. I know you don't want to get in politics. I know.
Look, they really just
don't want to get in politics. The name of the show is Politickin', and the main host is the sitting governor of California. What is this show? Why does it exist?
Look, they really just got that blood head, though. Like you feel me?
That wasn't right.
You feel me? Blood was ducked down and hell bounced up like
terrible.
Fighting hell. I'm like, oh, this. And then they start playing some 50 behind Many Man, Wish Death for Pine. I said,
I think Marshawn is talking about the assassination attempt on Trump. I think that's where he's going with this.
Look. I don't do the politics and all of that, but that was some. Look, I don't know.
I'm with you.
But I'm on the outside. You feel me? Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking. I'm just be chilling. But that was a pretty.
Nothing about that was right. Nothing was about that was right.
Ooh.
Nothing.
Gavin also gets asked what he thinks about the VP pick on the Republican side. J.D. Vance.
Hey, Gavin, edify me real quick. So I've
Yes,
been on a plane. I've been watching CNN and MSNBC. First of all, this J.D. Vance guy, this guy is dangerous, man. This guy's a bad dude.
Doug, I mean this. I think if you're Donald Trump, you're stewing right now because you made a big mistake. He doubled 100%. Down on stupid, especially with Kamala now in there. They weren't prepared. He's flat-footed. He doesn't even sound like himself. These guys, you talk about a script. In this case, it is flipped. All of a sudden, Donald Trump is on the defense, just like that. Marshawn, the whole point is, after assassination attempt, nothing about that right, and was universally condemned in the Democratic Party, not just the Republican Party. There's nothing about that was right. And I reached out to his family. There was nothing about that. But I'll tell you what, it shows what in politics, man, anything can happen and happens fast. And so now this thing is a sprint.
This is a year of unbelievable things that you never thought would happen. You never thought a sitting president would step down a month before the primary. You never thought that a presidential candidate in the modern era would get shot at. And you never thought a sitting governor of California would, for some reason, do a podcast with Marshawn Lynch. Let me leave you with this nugget of a clip.
It's so resonant what Marshawn was just saying about being your authentic self and just bringing that every day and loving on yourself, but not in a sort of, not in a way that's braggadocious, not in a way that's narcissistic, but just bringing truly yourself in everything you do. Does that resonate with you, what Marshawn just said?
You can't say braggadocious.
What the hell I said? I don't even know what you got. Marshawn tells me what I.
All right, we've got shtick. The bits that you're going to hear on Politickin' with Gavin and Marshawn and that other guy are words Gavin can't say.
Marshawn tells me what I can't say, man. Do you see how this is going?
Batman, you can't say braggadocious.
I can't even. I got another word I can't say as well, which we'll talk about later.
Oh, my. Well, I think I'd give it 3 stars. Not the worst thing I've ever heard, but definitely not the best. Thanks so much for piquing my curiosity as we figure out why Gavin's doing this and, more importantly, why he's Batman. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-2KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Your emails as well at randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. It is ridiculously hot outside today in the San Fernando Valley. I am looking at 97 degrees, and I think that's generous because it sure felt like 100. And it's days like today where, boy, do I pine and wish that I lived on the west side. See, if I want to get any exercise on a day like today in the valley, I've got to use the treadmill or the Peloton. There's no outdoor exercise after 9 a.m. in the valley. It is too hot. It is gross out. However, you live in a place like Venice, you live in a place like Manhattan Beach, or I don't know, Marina del Rey. It is 74 right now. 74 is perfect. And that is why people who live on the west side are lucky enough to be able to recreate with things like riding bikes on the boardwalk and on the beach paths. And in fact, the city of the neighborhood of Marina del Rey has a wonderful program where there are bike lockers that you can rent and store your bikes there. So you don't even have to drag them out every time you want to go. You just go to the beach, unlock your bike from the bike locker, and you go have a wonderful, beautiful day and explore California. Yeah, that program just got shut down because of thieving. For more, here's KCal.
A popular program in Marina del Rey for cyclists has ended after thieves took off with dozens of bikes. And now some are worried the program won't return. So let's go to On Your Side's Christine Lazar joining us now with what is going on and so frustrating for those who have paid hundreds.
Yeah, I didn't know this program existed, but I think it's such a great one because I know there's been times that we've thought, hey, let's grab the kids and we'll go to the boardwalk. But it's the logistics of getting all those bikes in your car, especially if you don't have a rack. So this eliminated that and people paid not a lot of money, but there was a long wait list. And now the program hangs in the balance. For years, cyclists could rent lockers to store their bikes in Marina del Rey, making it convenient for them to ride up and down the coast without having to figure out how to get their bikes to the beach.
Look at that, a government program that was popular, that people liked. And now it's going away because we cannot have nice things when we treat the criminals like babies.
Now the program is ceasing operations for the time being, and some victims say that means the criminals win.
On a breezy Southern California day, a bike ride up and down the boardwalk is an Angelino favorite.
And it was such...
Yeah, I got to get out of the valley. I got to make a lot more money if I'm going to get out of the valley, but I got to get out of the valley. It is too damn hot here.
And it was such a great way to spend a day, ride down from Marina del Rey to Manhattan Beach, have lunch, ride back.
Being able to get on the bike and ride bikes up and down the beach from Torrance all the way up to Pacific Palisades.
But getting your bike to the beach can be a bear, which is why these county-run bike lockers are so popular, with a wait list months long. Barbara Haxma and Laura Grenfell have both had them since 2018, paying $200 a year for a double locker.
That's not too bad. So what is that per month to have your locker where you can keep a couple of bikes in there, and anytime you want to go to the beach, your bike is already there. 200 divided by 12, $16 a month? What a wonderful program. Something that LA County government can highlight as something that's popular that they do. But now they have to close it. Because the thing that LA County does that's not popular is we don't go after the bad guys.
It's just a great convenience that is offered, that you don't have to have a bike rack and load your two bikes, onto the car every day.
On Monday, both women got a voicemail from the LA County Beaches and Harbors Department, telling them to come get their bikes if they were still there.
Oh, that is not good. We don't even know if your bike got stolen or not, but regardless, you got to get it out of there because we can't do this anymore. We're having too much thieving because there's too much valuable property inside these lockers. So we've decided to just not have them.
Telling them to come get their bikes.
This is the ultimate, this is why we cannot have nice things story in LA County.
Telling them to come get their bikes if they were still there.
Bike lockers were broken into this past weekend. and we want to let you guys know that we are ceasing operations by the end of July.
The women rushed.
We are giving up. That's LA County.
The women rushed down to Marina Del Rey's parking lot 7 and found this, an entire row of bike lockers vandalized.
Every single locker.
Is Marina Del Rey, is that Lindsay Horvath territory?
Quite frankly.
Or is that Janice Hahn territory?
That's your final warning.
Or is that Holly Mitchell territory?
Quite frankly.
I think it's Horvath, but I have to double check on that. Somebody should be doing better on this.
Every single locker, except for one on each side, was open, and all the bikes were gone and the locks were cut.
The security cords were cut and it was completely wiped out. Helmets, everything. It was crazy.
Together, the women had 4 bikes stolen with a combined worth in the thousands.
I have an answer for you thanks to Google. It's part Holly.
Quite frankly.
And part Lindsay.
Quite frankly.
Janice, you get a pass.
That's your final warning.
Thousands. But it isn't the money that has them most upset.
Completely disappointed that this incredible lifestyle activity that we have is being shut down because of thieves. It's just really this erosion of the
Holly Mitchell giving up on the West Side.
Of the quality of life that we're seeing all around us.
Back in 2022, some of the lockers were broken into, and the program paused for months, resuming last year with extra protections. We contacted the county, and a spokesperson for Beaches and Harbors tells me the lockers will come back once they can figure out how to make them thief-proof.
So they'll come back if you vote yes on Prop 36 and you vote out you know who.
So we're mindful of all these things, but
and yes, I'm comparing you to Voldemort, you bastard.
We got some wobbly knees allies.
At some point, we've got to decide that this isn't acceptable anymore. Something's got to give here.
No word on how long it will take or how much money it will cost to restart the bike locker program. A county spokesperson did tell me if and when they bring it back, those who already had lockers will have first priority as they still have that long wait list. By the way, there are no cameras in the area, so we don't have any suspect description.
Why don't you have cameras? You did all these security improvements except for cameras? Not that cameras matter currently. There's plenty of video evidence of a lot of crimes, and the DA doesn't want to do anything about it.
Do a Google on YouTube.
By the way, there are no cameras in the area, so we don't have any suspect description. And that's part of the problem, too. So they're obviously looking to maybe move those lockers to a more secure location, one with cameras. The damage to the lockers was only about $500, but if they just fix it, then they're afraid the thieves will come back. But, of course, all the people...
We cannot keep your bike safe. LA County. Unbelievable.
But of course, all the people who lost their bikes, some people have bikes that are worth thousands of dollars,
right.
And now they're going to sell them on the street. So it's just a really unfortunate.
They go straight to the chop shops, which are in the RV encampments that people like Holly Mitchell and Lindsay Horvath encourage.
Thing to happen. And, it's like that thing that I think a lot of us are feeling like we can't have nice things, even a bike, because we're afraid that it's going to get stolen.
And like you said, how many people and families take advantage of this convenience.
Yeah, and that's what
I think
we're supposed to do, right? Drive less, ride our bikes, get outside. They're doing all the things that we're encouraged to do here in Southern California.
Frustrating.
They do keep telling you to get out of your car and ride a bike. Well, people on the West Side wanted to ride their bikes, and they can't anymore. Well, they can, but they got to get a bike rack on the back of their car. And if they've just got a little sedan, that's going to be a pain on the butt.
Now they can't do it.
I think they need to start with those security cameras. That is a good point.
Yes, because that is a deterrent, at least.
Yeah. All right, Christine, thanks.
Well, I don't know if it's a deterrent, but at least we've had footage of people stealing the bikes. There you go. The bike locker program in Marina Del Rey is ending, not because it wasn't popular, not because it wasn't successful, but because there was too much thieving going on.
Right.
It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. If you'd like to email us, you can do so at randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. Henry writes in and says, maybe Marshawn Lynch calls Gavin Newsom Batman because the slick hairdo reminds him of Christian Bale's portrayal of Bruce Wayne.
Hell no, man. And I've been tripping trying to figure out why I ain't seeing my boy Batman running for president.
I think you might have a point. Hey, how about this, everybody? A little gift from us to you. 790 KABC welcomes Chris Lane to the Pacific Amphitheater on August 14th. Tickets are on sale now, but right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-790-5222 gets a pair of tickets to the show. Tickets furnished by the Pacific Amphitheater. Good luck dialing. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. I do a lot of love here for our local news because I think they do a really good job. They hold the politicians to the fire as much as they can. They report on stories and highlight problems that are going on in neighborhoods. And when the electeds aren't doing anything, if you embarrass them on local TV, something usually gets done. At least it finally starts to get addressed. Well, I'm not always here with 100% positivity about our local news because there is something that the local news can't help themselves to do. When there's a story that might be not too serious, could be a little humorous, the editors in our local newsrooms at KCAL and KTLA and Fox 11 and NBC4, well, they start editing the script with just way too many puns. For example, here is a story that came out from KCAL on a kids theater company that got their sets and their costumes stolen by awful, evil thieves who hate theater. And local news just couldn't help themselves. Let's play along. Here's KCAL.
Well, some cold-hearted thieves struck in Monrovia, stealing a truck full of sets and props for a children's theater company.
And now the show may not go on for dozens.
There's the first one.
And now the show may not go on for dozens of children who've been rehearsing for weeks.
Puns are not clever.
KCAL News reporter Lori Perez is live in Monrovia.
Unless you tell it 100% straight like Mark Brown, it's just tough.
KCAL News reporter Lori Perez is live in Monrovia with how the thieves got away with the truck and the trailer. Lori.
Well, Juan and Susie, the cast and crew of these productions might like to be in the spotlight, but certainly not for something like this.
Oh, boy.
I went in and asked my husband, and then he was like, oh, my gosh, the truck is gone.
The drama was real this morning for...
Oh, God.
The drama was real this morning for Keely Milliken when she and her husband discovered the truck and trailer they parked right here in front of their Monrovia home had been stolen. Owners of the nonprofit school and theater group Center Stage, Inc., it happened just hours after they closed their teen production of Legally Blonde.
Oh, how fun would that have been to see? Whoever stole the sets to a kid's version of Legally Blonde, you have no heart, you have no soul.
So inside the trailer was
a lot of pink. It was Legally Blonde, so sets and different kinds of things that would have gone along with the show.
She says a neighbor's security camera captured the truck and trailer leaving the Wild Rose Avenue neighborhood sometime between 5 and 7 a.m. And already the damage is piling up. They'll have to pay for the rented props that were taken, replace the truck and trailer.
We use that truck and trailer almost every day for our nonprofit because we all
go rob a bank. Go bump off a 7-Eleven for cigarettes. You're stealing theater equipment from kids?
Because we also go into different schools and bring programs to them. So it's a big loss for us.
Meanwhile, opening night for their next play, Annie Jr., is Thursday. 100 children, 12 and under, are ready to shine. And Milliken says that will not be delayed.
Very disheartened. So I need a little Annie's spirit.
Oh, boy.
Now, they have set up a GoFundMe account to help raise funds to replace what they lost. We are live in Monrovia. I'm Lori Perez, KCAL News. Back to you.
Awful, awful story that was told with some awful, awful puns. But hey, maybe, just maybe, someone will take down these theater thieves and get the kids back their props. If you'd like to email us, you could do so at randykabc@gmail.com. Carolyn writes in and says, Marshawn Lynch calls Gavin Newsom Batman because he is full of That's pretty good. I really like that. That's fantastic.
And he just got angry and just, I was like, ugh.
Thank you so much for that. Hey, thanks so much for listening to this show every day. We're so happy to bring it to you. I love doing this every day. It is a lifelong dream come true. If you miss any episode of the show, you can always get one at KABC.com. Click on podcasts or go to the Apple Podcast app. Search for KABC News Blitz with Randy Wang. Search for KABC News Blitz. You'll find it. Subscribe. You can download all the episodes. As we get out of here, I do want to give just a little gratitude to an incredible man who I worked with for over 11 years here, but he's worked at KBC for almost 38 years. Our dearly beloved, legendary Les Siegel passed away last night, and he has been producing shows in this station for almost 4 decades, and we're going to miss him. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KBC.